We talked about this whole thing when it comes to idols and beat jacking, right?
Oh, no.
So when it comes to idols and beat jacking, I got to see if I can do this the correct way. We know that there's been, I don't want to say a practice that's been happening here, an epidemic per se. And you know, we've seen it with some Timbaland stuff. We've also seen it as recently when it comes to like Eric's sermon and him addressing it with D.R.U.G.S Beats. And I don't even know if he's addressing it directly. But I did check an interview that he had on, I think it's called Bag Fuel.
Yeah, Bag Fuel.
Yeah, and I'm gonna see if I can play this real quick, and you guys let me know if the audio comes through correctly, but I do wanna play this little portion. It's not the video, it's just the audio from it, so I just wanna make sure that we hear his response to this and see what we say.
Bag Fuel, baby.
You say you produce for everybody.
Everybody.
So what's up with this?
I produce everyone.
What's up with this?
People can talk about, I don't want to keep cutting you, but people can talk about what they did and who, they're not me.
No, because this guy said he stole his beat, yo.
Oh, yeah. See, this is what, let me tell you about this.
Who said it? Are you a beat stealer?
Let me tell you something about this. I've been making records my whole entire life, right? Not only do I make records, on my Vernier album, I'm the only nigga that ever put produced by on the front cover. You've never seen that. You see a featured artist, but I put my producers and people on. So I'm playing records on the live one night, but somebody recorded me and uploaded it.
Yes.
So I never put it out. So it didn't come from me saying Eric Sermon playing new beats. Somebody else wrote that. So I never claimed that the beats I was playing was mine.
Got you.
So this one particular beat, I didn't even know who made the record. I just liked the record. So I played the record. I didn't say it was mine, but this is the kicker. How did I get the fucking beat? You sent it to me.
Okay.
Every one of these people send me beats to do what? To probably help them.
Yeah, of course.
To see if I can get a placement.
Yeah, of course.
Because that's what the conversation came from.
That's what the whole point is. That's what the point is.
Because that's me. Let's make things clear. I don't need nobody to make shit for me. As you can tell, this is my Redman and Method Man record is out there ringing. Who did that? The fucking Air?
Why did Amazon send me $20,000?
So we had to get that commercial out the way, but I will just play the rest of it just so we can hear it one more time.
Damn.
I did it. My Tupac and Biggie coming out, I did it. My Mobb Deep, I did it. My MOP, I did it. This is my Snoop Dogg and Nate Dogg, I did it. My Public Enemy, I did it. My Eric Sermon and 38 Express, I did it. I need no one. You try to help because I'm already me. So just in case you don't have shit going on, I try to help people. But then people try to discredit, and then you got these other people that follow, family too, be like, yo, damn, you know what? Damn, I wonder if you actually think I stole it? So matter of fact, the beat wasn't on nobody. There was no vocals. And like I sold the beat to somebody, whatever, I played it. Out of 13 records I played, they was all mine. All the beats I played was all mine, except the one. I'm just going through my laptop, just pressing what's in there. But you try to discredit me. And then you got
I didn't even hear about it.
But then you got these bum niggas in the producer world be like, yo, and they all get together. They all get together like bitches and be like, yo, yeah, you right. But then I got a nigga like my homie Bink Dog be like, nigga, I ain't your beat, nigga. I've been had that sample. So I got real cats that be like, yo, what's the argument?
Yeah.
Like, there's no argument. But again, the clout chasing to be able to make the hype. Because even now, me talking about it,
it's helping him.
I'm not going to mention his name.
Of course.
But it would help him.
He's talking about me right now.
Yeah, but it would help him if I would have went back and forth. But again, this is my family. So I ain't talked to nobody until now. Because to let them know, too. Because in actuality, I really want to, again, as a, I'm just
you want to get out of the room, but you can't.
Nigga. Like, this is like, again, on the serious tip, Because again, you want to talk loud because you could have gotten my DM, but you went on the front page, and so the world can see it. So let the world see me smack the shit out of you. If this is how you want,
And I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that because that was the response from Eric Sermon, just pertaining to the whole thing with D.R.U.G.S Beats and playing a beat that wasn't his on his live, and that was his response. And what I wanted to do, man, is actually get everybody's feedback now that we've heard the response. You also shared the fact that the Gauntlet Beat Battle had D.R.U.G Beats.
Yeah.
Also talking about it on it. So I just wanted to ask.
Yeah, I didn't get to see that. I didn't watch that.
But I guess the question is, knowing what we know now, and based off of this, I don't want to call it a practice or epidemic or whatever it is, but it's like, where do we go from here when it comes to these idols of ours kind of beat jacking, if you want to call it that?
This is what I will say to that. This is what I'll say to it. And because I don't have no dog in the fight. It's how does either one of these guys, if we're talking about Timbaland or if we're talking about Eric Sermon, how do they benefit off of pretending an unknown producer's or up and coming producer's beat is theirs on IG Live? They don't benefit from that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's of no benefit to them. Like that's my only like counter to it. Like initially, like when with the Timbaland joint, I mean, it makes sense. Like if you playing somebody's joints, yeah, give them the credit because that credit could actually be a look. But in the big scheme of things, they're not benefiting off that shit. Now, in terms of a deeper discussion, I mean, we could talk about like producers like not getting credit that have actually worked with big name producers and did big records and didn't get paid or didn't get credit. I think that's like a worthy conversation. But honestly, like, especially in regards to Eric Sermon, I'm just like, I kind of just, and I see people in the comments like, oh, that's cap, whatever. He played 3 other producers. But in my mind, it's kind of like, so what? Because the disconnect mainly is like that we have to remember is these guys are not, they don't understand they don't understand the internet now. You know what I mean?
Who?
I'm just saying like some of these older dudes, even like a Timbaland, as much as like, as he's trying to be ahead of the game, like you see the way that he interacts on lives and stuff like that, and like even the Eric Sermon, it's like these are just some old school dudes, older dudes, just doing what they do. You know what I'm saying? He was just playing some beats on live.
But my question is this, right? Like you played some beats on live, and you played a beat that wasn't yours. And whether you played it by mistake or not, it doesn't really cost you much to say, yo, this beat's by so-and-so and so. That's it. But
I agree with that.
So
Legit,
and my thing is this, like,
I do agree with that.
If we can at least agree to that, like, this ain't my beat, or shout out to so-and-so for this beat, that shit can, one, go a long way, even if you didn't intend for it to go a long way. But then on top of that, it's like, who are we to, like, imagine us playing beats and not saying who we got the beats from. The outside perspective could be, especially if I'm a poppin' producer, dude, that must be one of Loops's joints. And I feel like that alone, especially if you're hungry and you're trying to like, you're trying to get this exposure. And honestly, like a lot of us look up to these producers that are like doing this shit now. So it's like, at what point in time do we say, yeah, it may not benefit you, but you know what? Maybe because you still grasping the internet or whatever it is, maybe it is benefiting you.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. So it's just I agree 100%.
Yep.
But I just think that it's the choice of words. We can't be saying that these dudes are stealing your beat because they played your beat on live and they didn't mention you and they failed to mention you. I agree. Now semantics could be whether it's deliberate or not. I just feel like it's not it. I could see how it's not deliberate is what I'm saying. Like I said, I don't really You know what I mean? But I am a little bit biased just in terms of Eric Sermon, just because I understand Eric Sermon is one of those producers that really do make the beats.
Yeah.
And in terms of now, for instance, like for me, like being like a real fan of Eric Sermon, like if I heard that beat play, I would have known that it's not an Eric Sermon beat. It don't sound nothing like it doesn't sound like any fucking beat Eric Sermon has ever made in his life, not even remotely close. And I'm talking about like even when he does things that are different, like in my mind, I would have been like, who the fuck made that beat? You know what I'm saying? Or who did he collaborate with? Or you know what I mean? I would have known off top. But like I said, I do agree. I agree. I said it with Timberland. Yeah, you do. It does. You do have to credit the producers. But on the flip side, we can't be like, yo, these niggas, he ain't steal your beat. He ain't steal your beat. He ain't do nothing with your beat. He played the shit. And more than anything, being a discussion does put some light on the situation. But it's about how you handle it. You know what I mean? And I just feel like we do have to be careful about that part of it. You know what I mean? Like how we handle it. Like, yes, it's worth talking about, but not from the standpoint of just like being accusatory and just making it seem like, niggas is out here stealing your beat because they played it on live. Like, you know what I mean? I just think it's a slippery slope both ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just something to talk about, and it's something to discuss. It's worthy of the discussion, but let's just be careful about how we handle it and be careful about the words that we're choosing to use when we talk about these things, because it's you know.
So let me ask you this to kind of get like each of your take before we move on to the beats. Knowing that this is something that we encounter as producers and beat makers, and this is kind of maybe the temperature of what we're going into, where do we go from here as a producer? If you were violated, or if, quote unquote, someone played your beat on the live, if that was you, where do you go from here? What's your word of advice?
If somebody playing,
if someone played if Eric Sermon or Timberland played your beat or whatever it was and didn't give you the credit, and
listen,
you went through everything,
me personally, I don't know how I would handle it, but the way that I think I would handle it is I don't think I would necessarily give a fuck about it, because it was just an IG live. Now, if you fucking place my beat and don't give me credit and we talking about a check, then that's a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's worth addressing, but we gotta be careful about how we address it, because then you can jump completely out of the window. You know what I mean?
Understood.
And I have producers' beats of my computer. You know what I'm saying? I have all type of. So when I'm playing when I play a playlist of my beats, if I was just playing it and not saying anything, me personally, you're gonna hear some fucking Brain Got Blaps. You're gonna hear 60 in the midst of my beats playing, because that's the way my iTunes is set up. Like, I have beat for, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're gonna hear Trench beat. You're gonna hear Loops beat, all in the midst of my beats playing. Now, if I'm not on live just playing beats, but I'm just saying, like that's just the way my shit is too. And I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying, let's just be mindful about how we address it, because it's like, it's just fucking IG live. Now, if it's affecting your livelihood, then it's worth the deeper conversation. But like, let's not go crazy, because it does seem I'm on the side of the producers. I'm with y'all, but I'm on the side of like a good perception. I don't like the bottom feeder look. I don't like niggas getting on the platform and being like, you know what I mean? Being able to be like, because that's what it sounds like. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like the echo chamber.
Yeah.
And then people start talking about the shit with no context, and it seems crazy. Oh yeah, Eric Sermon stole that nigga's beat. You know, it's like, come on, man. Like, let's be careful about that. That's all. That's my take on it.
Trench, what's your take?
I still feel like he handled that shit wrong, though. Him being the OG, the big homie, he definitely could have just been like, yo, straight up, it wasn't my beat. But him talking basically out of straight anger, talking to Drugs on top of that. Drugs ain't no small time producer. Drugs is Grammy nominated. He's worked with plenty of different artists, Dr. Dre, Kendrick, the list goes on. So him talking crazy to, especially the Drugs like that, is wild to me. And like I said, yo, when you an OG,
I agree.
you have more wisdom and knowledge. You have more game in the game. You should have handled that a lot different. Calling producers bums, like, yo, you don't know what nobody going through. Somebody might walk up on you for calling them a bum.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
But when you accuse somebody of plagiarizing, you know, like, it's the same thing. Like, I definitely agree.
I hear you.
I agree. But that's what I'm saying. That's why on both sides, it's like, you know, I'm in the middle. Like, I literally have no dog in the fight. Like, I understand both sides, but it's just like how you expect him to react, because he probably wouldn't have said nothing at all if that didn't come up in that conversation. And in the conversation is just like, yo, niggas is saying, how dare you say the green-eyed bandit, me, the nigga a person who people got their whole style from. How you calling me a fucking nigga that's you know what I mean?
And I hear that. Trust me, I hear that end of it too. But I think it's just like, yo, because you the big homie, you are who you are. You probably didn't even have to say anything.
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
But
you could have just hit. Same thing. I do agree with you. Drugs could have probably. Well, they said Drugs hit him directly though.
Yeah.
And he could have just kept it.
Yeah, they should have kept that. Yeah, they should have kept that conversation behind the scenes. I feel like.
But he went on a whole big platform, calling niggas bums and this and that, and talking about obviously smacking drunk. That's when it's like, yo, now you doing clown shit, and you supposed to be big homie. But respect though.
I will say this. I think Nipsey Hussle might have said this, but he says we as black folks got to watch how we respond when we feel disrespected. And I think on both people's side, like how you respond when you feel disrespected.
Yeah, it's kind of warranted.
Yeah,
either way. You know what I'm saying?
My thing is, there's no problem in what you feel, but what you do with your feelings can change everything.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure.
And I do think, you know, I've been plagiarized before. I've been copied 3, 4, 5 times already. That shit different, bro.
Yeah.
But I tell you, the first time I responded and the 5th time I responded, completely different. Correct. So if this is the first time that it happens, it does feel like a violation. And if you from that type of street, you want to pull up on the motherfucker, see what's good, and you talk that rah-rah shit. But that's not the game that we in at this moment. Right now, this is the music business. So if this has something to do with your music, you got to think business-wise. And I think that would be good for both parties to think about, because Eric Sermon was also speaking from an emotional state. And that's why he sounded the way he sounded. And
and obviously it was, like I said, he wouldn't have went out of his way to say anything about that issue. He was on a podcast, and what did the dude do? He wanted the moment. He wanted them to yo, are you stealing beats?
You gotta ask him.
Imagine you get asked.
Yes.
Are you stealing beats?
Automatically.
You're gonna go crazy on niggas real quick. You're gonna check, and he wasn't saying he was gonna actually physically do it. He's talking about the music. Like, come on, man.
He said he was gonna smack the fuck out of him. Fuck that. Fuck that. I said it straight up. If you talking about me or any of my people and you say you gonna smack the fuck out of somebody, I'm not taking that shit. I'm understanding exactly what you said as a direct threat.
And Drugs said he left it alone too.
But it didn't have. But that's the point. But this is the point. This is where I ended off. It never really had anything to do with drugs. It didn't have nothing to do with drugs. It had everything to do with everybody else. That's what I'm saying. It's the whole community, and that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm talking about. It didn't have nothing. Them two could have just had their conversation or whatever, and then it would have been left at that. But it's like everybody chimes. That was the talk. Oh, niggas, another producer out here stealing beats. So that's what niggas are seeing, and that's what fuels the fire and gets people to the point where, you know, they feel like they gotta address shit. And, you know, it is what it is, man.
Crazy times that we're in. I want to thank the bros just for chiming in on that topic, man. You guys definitely let us know how you feel about it in the comments and everything, because you know, we need to grow from this, because it seems like this this is going to happen, so we need to change how we respond when this shit happens.
Man, come on, Sam, man. That ain't no damn threat, man. We talking about beats.
Nah. He's saying.
No, I know.
yeah.
I know. I saw it. I watched
Yeah.
it. I watched it. And it's like, y'all really, like, come on, man. Y'all really thought that was a threat? Like, get the fuck out of here, man.
Threats.
Like, come on, man. But yeah, everybody needs to take accountability.
Yeah,
And that's the point that I'm making. Everybody does. Like, you know, stop jumping the gun. Stop jumping out the window and accusing people of shit, because then you're going to see how people react.
Boom. All right, man. So